Hey, welcome. So today we're going to tackle a really confusing and for a lot of people, a really personal feeling. This idea of being brilliant and, well, completely broken at the same time. If you've ever felt like you've got this super powerful engine inside you, but you just can't seem to get the car into gear, then this is for you. Let's get into it. Does this question right here just hit you right in the gut? It's really the heart of what we're talking about today. It's that awful feeling of knowing, deep down, you've got all this potential, but you just keep running into these invisible walls that stop you from actually doing anything with it. So if you're nodding along to these questions, you know that feeling of being stuck or overwhelmed or just brilliant but totally unable to get things done, you are absolutely in the right place. These are not signs that you're lazy or that you're a failure. Nope. They're actually symptoms that your brain just might be wired a little differently, a concept we call neurodivergence, which honestly is widely misunderstood. Now, the insights we're exploring here, they come from a leading psychologist in Brazil who has become a national expert on this very topic. I mean, this guy has dedicated his entire career to helping people who feel like their own mind is a puzzle they just can't solve. Okay, so here's the first big, crucial idea we need to wrap our heads around. We have to completely reframe how we think about giftedness. We've got to stop seeing it as just some kind of superpower, because in reality, it often comes with its own unique and pretty intense set of struggles. Just look at this slide. This right here shows the huge disconnect. Society looks at giftedness and just assumes, oh, your life must be so easy. But the actual lived reality, it's often feeling completely misunderstood and really, really struggling. Our source expert makes a powerful point. Giftedness is officially recognized as a special educational need, not because of a deficit, but because a normal environment can actually be emotionally damaging. And that leads us right to the concept that unlocks this whole brilliant but broken thing. It's called double exceptionality. To put it really simply, this is when someone is both gifted and has something like ADHD. It's not one or the other. It's both at the same time in the same brain. And you can probably see why things start to get so confusing. So what happens is this thing experts call a masking effect, and it goes both ways. Your high intelligence lets you find these clever little workarounds for your ADHD, so you might go your whole life without a diagnosis. But at the same time, the ADHD challenges, like procrastination or not being able to finish things, they hide your brilliance from the world. You're basically stuck in this constant internal tug of war. So if you've ever tried all the popular productivity advice and felt like a total failure because none of it worked, well, there is a very, very good reason for that. Your brain just wasn't designed for it. Let's just take one of the most famous productivity hacks in the world, right? The Pomodoro technique. Work for 25 minutes, take a 5-minute break, and just repeat. It sounds so simple, so logical. What could go wrong? Well, there you have it. That's a direct quote from our source expert. In all his work with over 8,000 students, many of them gifted with ADHD, he has never seen this method actually work. Not even once. That's not just an opinion. That's a clinical observation. And here's the reason why. For a creative, non-linear kind of mind, a rigid plan like that feels like a cage. By tomorrow, you've already had 1,000 new ideas that make yesterday's plan feel totally irrelevant. Forcing a brain like this into a box doesn't create productivity, it just creates suffering. This all brings us to a really important shift in how we think. To really understand yourself, you have to stop just labeling your behaviors and start digging for their true source. This quote is basically the guiding principle here. What it means is that the behavior you see on the surface, the phenomenon, can be misleading. Inattention, for example, could be a symptom of ADHD or anxiety or even trauma. But the root cause of that inattention, that's specific. And if you find the cause, you find the truth. So here's how you do it. It's a pretty simple process. Instead of just saying, oh, I'm being inattentive, you have to stop and ask yourself, wait, why am I inattentive right now? Am I distracted because I'm worried about something in the future? Or is my brain just completely understimulated by what I'm trying to do? And this is a perfect example of the difference. When you're inattentive because of anxiety, your brain is being hijacked by all these catastrophic what-if scenarios. But when you're inattentive because of ADHD, your brain is literally starving for dopamine and is desperately searching for stimulation anywhere else. Same behavior on the surface, but a completely different cause underneath. So what does this all mean? Where do we go from here? Well, it leads to a huge shift in perspective. You're not broken. You have just been trying to run software that was designed for a totally different operating system. And guess what? This operating system of yours, it comes with some incredible features. We're talking about massive creativity, the ability to think in this tree-like branching pattern that lets you see connections nobody else does. And that superpower of hyperfocus when you're really passionate about something. See, these aren't bugs, they're features. So the goal here is not to try and fix yourself or force your brain into being something it's not. The goal is to finally get a hold of the correct user manual so you can learn how to work with its incredible power, not against it. And I really want you to hear this final powerful idea from our source. Just let it sink in for a second. Your brain is not broken. It just works on a different rotation. It spins at a different speed, on a different axis, and that's precisely where its unique power comes from. So the final question is really for you. This isn't the end of the story, it's the beginning of a new one. Understanding how your mind works is the first step. The next, more exciting step is deciding what amazing things you're going to build with it. Thanks for tuning in.